morning vlog. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can tell, but the energy is high today. The vibes are high. House music at 10 a.m. That's my vibe today. I am feeling very good vibes, radiating good energy. We are here at a coffee shop because it is already July. Crazy. I looked at the calendar yesterday when I was doing my monthly little calendar, and I realized it was already July, which is insane because I feel like June went by slow but super fast at the same time, and everything from now on is like super quick and back to back. So we're gonna do a little mid-year reset, get back into embodying the best version of ourselves. I'm super excited for today. I put on a cute outfit, I did my makeup, I did my hair. I'm just feeling all the vibes today, so I'm excited for you guys to join me today. But we're at a new coffee shop. I've been wanting to try this place for so long. It's called 18 Grams Cafe, and it looks super cute inside from the pictures that I've seen. So we're gonna go inside, get some work done, get some editing done, journal, and do all the things. Reminder to drink your water. It's been super hot lately, so don't forget to drink your water, guys. Okay, I'm done in the coffee shop. I was there for about an hour and I was super productive. I'll share a little bit more about what I wrote and how I go about setting goals. But I journal and sometimes I type because sometimes my thoughts are going faster than I can write. So I did a little bit of both. Honestly, I was debating about coming here today just because it is kind of a drive. Once I started thinking about it, drives like this, buying the $7 coffee, and investing in yourself no matter the price, like if it's something that you know that you need to do or that you know that you want to do because it's going to benefit you, do it. Spend the $7 on the coffee, drive to the coffee shop because it will be beneficial, I promise you. And that was another thing that I wrote. You are your biggest asset and you need to invest in yourself in order to grow. I view myself as a business and you should view yourself the same way. You want to invest in your business. Your business is something that you're going to spend your money on because you want it to grow, you want it to thrive. That kind of a thing. Not spending money just to spend it, but you know, going to the coffee shop to make you feel motivated and see the other people around you working. This one in particular was one that I've been wanting to come to for a really long time. With that being said, it was a great experience. The coffee definitely wasn't what I was expecting. I got it regular sweetness. It was a cold brew and it wasn't sweet at all. I like coffee, so I was able to handle it, but for somebody who doesn't like coffee, I don't think you would like what I got. I got the, I think it's salted caramel cold brew, salted caramel. I don't know how you say caramel, same thing. Anyways, I'm gonna head home and get the rest of this day started. Later, I am now on a walk. It's a beautiful day out. I have my Stanley, I have my tote bag, and we're heading to the park right now. Once I get there, I'll explain a little bit about the journaling that I did this morning. I did a little outfit change. I have this oversized tee, some biker shorts, and then my New Balances. I had an acai bowl from Jamba Juice for lunch. It was delicious. Devoured the entire thing. But I'm gonna enjoy this walk and I'll see you at the park. Let's do a little life update. I feel like a lot has changed since the last time we chatted. I know I did the thoughts after graduation, which was very still valid on my feelings and thoughts about everything since, but I also feel like I've had some more time to think and reflect and journal and do all the things to kind of figure out where I want to be. A lot of things are going to be changing in the next couple weeks. Next week I leave for my college orientation. I'm gonna meet my roommate for the first time. I'm so excited. She literally has the sweetest face and I actually cannot wait to meet her. She seems like the coolest person. The week after that is the last week full week I have with my boyfriend before he leaves to the Navy, which honestly I've been asked about what my thoughts are, and there's a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, obviously I'm excited for him to take a step into his career and do something for himself. I'm super proud of him and I can't wait to see where it leads him. But obviously it's going to be very hard after a year of being together almost every day and like hanging out all the time, texting all the time. And those 9 weeks for boot camp is going to be quite the struggle. So prepare for lots of content because I will have so much time. With that being said, I have also quit my job. I had a part-time job from November till now. My last day was this Sunday. Today is Thursday, and I could not be happier. I could not be more relieved and just genuinely happy in my decision. I mentioned this in my last video as well on how I made my decision for college, and I said how there was like sometimes I hear this voice that's higher than myself, and it's a voice that I can't ignore that genuinely feels like God is speaking to me. For the longest time I knew that I needed to quit, but I was scared. And as I was slowly telling my coworkers, hey, like I'm gonna be leaving, one of them, and I feel like this will forever stick with me, she was like, you know, I would have already quit, but I'm too scared. And I mean, obviously I was scared too. I'm about to go to college and I just quit my job like 2 months, like literally in summer when everybody is supposed to be like getting their jobs, right? So it definitely is scary because I don't have a plan B. I mean, I do have my flower business, but obviously it's not steady income. But like I was saying, like that voice that's higher than me was telling me that I needed to do something for myself because I knew I wasn't meant to stay there. And had I gotten way too comfortable, then it would have been 10 times harder for me to leave. So I'm glad I quit when I did. Honestly, I don't know if any of this is gonna make sense to people who don't really know me, but that's kind of my thoughts behind the scenes. So now that's why this reset is kind of very much needed, because I need to figure out where I'm at in life and what I want to take into college and who I want to be when I get there. And honestly, summer is such a time to reinvent yourself because you're not seeing people 24/7. Not that I want to change everything about myself, but I just want to change my mindset on things. I want to have a positive outlook. I want to be somebody who radiates good energy, who's magnetic, who people want to talk to, who people want to be friends with. Honestly, to attract the people that you want to attract, you have to be that person yourself. So that's kind of what I'm working on this summer, just being someone who's magnetic, somebody who radiates good energy, and somebody who knows how to delegate their time and to have good routines in order to have balance, because it is going to be a huge thing once I get to college. I'm going to have to find balance with my schedule, with my social life, with YouTube, with everything in my life. I'm going to have to find balance, and I'm super excited to start a routine there and to find the balance, because that's honestly what life is all about. I feel like I'm always talking about balance. I think everybody has to define what balance means to them, because no routine is ever going to be perfect. You cannot have the same routine every single week, because then that just gets boring. But that's the whole meaning to me, is finding balance, whether that's in your weeks, whether that's in your days, in your months, just being able to delegate your time to the different aspects of your life that matter to you most. Everybody's values and priorities are going to be different, which is one of the things I journaled about this morning, knowing how much time to put into what categories into my life. Obviously now I have all the time in the world, because not only am I not in school, but I don't have a job, so I have so much time to be creative and really tap into who I want to be and figure out what it means to be myself. What does it mean to be Arianna? What does it mean to be you? I think that is something so beautiful to discover and to explore. But with that being said, setting goals comes with all of those things, is figuring out who you want to be, who you are now, and what are the gaps between those two people. I have a little journal ecosystem. The other journal that you guys always see, the beige one, I use that kind of to brain dump, to write out all my thoughts, to write out any new ideas that I have. This one's kind of more of my organized goal setting journal. The other one is like a mix of everything, but this one is more specific to just goals. I showed in the morning what I put on this page, which is July onward in 2026, and I wrote who I want to become, traits and habits I need to let go of, and things I can do to improve. This video is to help and inspire and motivate everybody who watches it. I will share some of my goals and maybe you'll get inspiration from it. I think that is one way that I get inspiration for my goals, or a way for me to ponder my thoughts. Who I want to become, like I said, I want to be somebody who's magnetic. I want to be well spoken and have good articulation of my words. That is one thing that I get complimented on. It's honestly my favorite compliment. People telling me that I'm well spoken just makes me feel good that I have the knowledge to explain the way I feel or help people understand what they feel. But that is another thing that is on my list to get better at. I feel like that is always on my vision board, to get better at public speaking, to get better at using my vocabulary, to expand my vocabulary. I want to be a woman of God, somebody who is trusting and allowing of God's will. Like I said, I always have really strong gut intuition feelings that I don't necessarily always think that they're mine. I know that God has a path for me, and whatever's in my path He will bring in front of me. So I just want to allow myself to be more open and allow more experiences to come into my life. I want to be somebody who's healthy and active, someone who inspires large audiences. My YouTube is that one way to do that. I mean, FCCLA, when I was president and I was able to speak in front of large audiences, it made me feel so good, and I honestly feel like that's such a passion of mine, is just to speak. But those are just some of the things of who I want to become. It's one of the things that I put for things that I can do to improve: positive self-talk and affirmations, less screen time, less thinking and more doing. Instead of thinking, I should go to the gym, or I should probably eat something, do it. Get up and do it. Like, thinking about it is not gonna make you get up and do it. If anything, it's gonna convince yourself that you don't want to even more. Less screen time, being more creative, creating more content than I consume. And it doesn't even have to be social media content. It can be art, it can be writing, it can be any form of art or anything that's creative that you enjoy doing. The art of creativity has honestly been so lost recently with social media blowing up, and that's one of the things I do want to discover is, like, who am I without social media? Who am I if I wasn't looking for inspo every 10 seconds on Pinterest? Although I love Pinterest, don't get me wrong, but like, comparison to people on Instagram or people on TikTok, who are you when no one's around? Who are you when you're not with your friends? Like, yes, you are a mosaic of every single person that you love and every single person that you talk to, but you are also a whole being without them. So I think it's important to know the differences of who you are when you're with people and who you are when you're alone. And that's literally been something that I've been discovering for years. I think learning more about yourself isn't something that is achieved one day. It's a constant progress. It's a constant trial and error of, like, figuring out the things that you do like, figuring out the things that you don't like. But that's honestly the beauty of life. Like, I don't think I'll ever get tired of journaling and, like, learning more about myself. I just think that's so fun. Needless to say, that was a lot of yapping, but this is kind of what I wrote down in my journal this morning. Now, moving on to what I was talking about, annotating. This is also the journal that I use to annotate or to store my knowledge that I learn. I love, and I have always talked about it, the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is the best book I've ever read, hands down. I really want to reread it and annotate it and fully go back in depth because it was a super quick, easy read, but I really want to write down everything that I took away from that book. This book is the one that I've been reading for months now. I just haven't had time or gotten around to reading it, but now I have plenty of time, so reading is going to be another one of my goals for the rest of the year, to get some books in. These books have been my favorite: self-help books, financial books, just consuming media that is helpful to you. Honestly, if you're not a reader, I think you should pick a topic that you're interested in and just search up books on that topic. It's easy to fall off, but it's also easy to get caught into a good book and then you're like on like a streak. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is read and annotate a little bit, and then we're gonna go to the gym and get a good workout in. It feels so good outside to breathe the fresh air and the wind. Oh, it's like it doesn't. Okay, let's get to it. It is now 6:30 and I've been so locked in with editing because I can't wait for this video to go out, but that means that I still haven't gone to the gym. One thing I did want to do for this video was create a vision board. Now, I am going to create a physical one before I leave to college, so I don't want to do two physical ones that end up looking pretty similar because the one that I'm going to make for college is literally like a month away. but I am gonna look on Pinterest, kind of create like a mood board rather than a vision board. Instead of pictures that are goals, more like vibes that I want to feel. If you don't have a vision board, if you didn't make one at the beginning of the year, you have the rest of your 2026 6 months to reach your goals, to set new ones. Everybody is going to be feeling a little bit different during this time, so if you feel like you want to make a physical one, by all means. I'm just gonna do one digitally because I already have one from the beginning of this year. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that just because it's the middle of the year, that does not mean that you need to stress yourself out, because there is only 6 months left. You have to look at it as the glass always half full. We have 6 months of experience, and now we have 6 months of opportunity, which is such a positive way to look at it. I know change can be scary, but the one thing that I always remind myself is that the only constant in life is change, so it's good to get used to it. You can reset and restart whenever you want, and the more you get used to doing that, the less pressure you feel to reinvent yourself every new season, every new month, or whatever it is. Whether you want to start working out on a Wednesday instead of a Monday, or you want to set a goal in the middle of the month rather than the beginning of the month, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but you. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to do that. Things I have on here are some solo date ideas, some more hobbies I want to try, or hobbies that I want to do more of. Honestly, it's kind of a mix of everything. Again, like I said, I'm gonna make a physical one soon, which you'll see that as well. I feel like everything that is on my vision board from the beginning of the year is still relevant in my life. It's still something that I'm working towards. Now that that's out of the way, it is time to hit the gym. No more procrastinating with editing, because I honestly could be here all night. But it is 6:41. Let's head to the gym.